Oh, I stopped using them.
Director, you have
I stopped
20
using them.
seconds.
They are the most unresponsive, non-responsive group, so I just quit
They
them.
ran me out 2 weeks ago, said I wasn't a member. Well, so they have a way of doing corporate accounts.
Okay. We will begin momentarily.
Well, we're a quorum. The three of us can.
Okay.
Do the
Are they
pledge.
coming? Okay, well, I'll call the meeting to order then. We begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would like to join us, please stand. I pledge
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you all for coming. Excuse me. We're going to start, please. The first item on our agenda is to adopt the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next item is the consent agenda, and all items on this consent agenda are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a commissioner or citizen so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda. Are there any such requests?
Madam President, I would move approval of the consent agenda.
Okay. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, this brings us to our regular agenda. First item is Ordinance 237, which amends Title II of Section 6007 of the ACHD Code. This is a request for adoption. This is a public hearing. I will open the public hearing and we will have a presentation by Gary Inselman.
Thank you, Madam President. Commissioners, for the record, Gary Inselman, Development Services Manager. This is a public hearing for Ordinance 237. This ordinance will amend Section 6007 of our HHD policy, Section 6000. We're cleaning up a couple of items to be more consistent with our policy, and then made some changes to provide for being able to collect on fees owed. The ordinance will also remove the combination fee schedule and matrix from the ordinance, and that will be adopted by a resolution. So with that, staff recommends approval of ordinance 237. I'd stand for any questions.
Are there any questions? I have a question. Does this allow for credit card fees to be recouped?
Madam President, that is not part of this ordinance, no.
Is it a part of the resolution that we already approved under the consent agenda?
Madam President, it's not. That was not our direction. You were looking at other options on the credit card fees. We had it in there originally and then removed it.
So we're not using that private entity to have the credit cards go through them?
Madam President, that would be a separate action. I believe the treasurer and others are still looking at that.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments or questions?
Madam President, I just appreciate that under enforcement that no one can institute a civil action in the ACHD court anymore, and that'll be in district court. Thanks for catching that.
I didn't realize we had a court. Okay, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone who wishes to testify on this item? If not, I will close the public hearing. And you have it before you.
Madam President, I move approval of ordinance 237.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the next item is Resolution 2223, which is the adoption of the fee schedule and matrix for permits. This is a request for adoption, and we will hear a presentation from Gary Inselman.
Thank you, Madam President. As you said, this is the resolution to adopt our combination fee schedule and matrix. It does increase those fees that are part of our permit process and including short and long-term encroachments in our daily permit fee. So unless you have any, I'll stand for any questions that you may have, and staff recommends approval of the resolution. Sorry, I got the wrong slide there.
Okay, is there any questions for Gary?
No.
Does anyone wish to testify? So we need we need a motion to adopt resolution 2223.
Madam President, I would move adoption of resolution 2223.
Second it.
Any discussion?
Gary?
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, that concludes our agenda. There is a public communications item. Is there anyone who wishes to address the commission on any issue? If not, meeting adjourned. Boy, that went quicker than